forget this day.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Valhal, and today we are going to be talking about a few of the most popular farming armies. Starting off, we have Barch, Gibarch, and Bam. If you don't know what that means, Barch is just barbarians and archers, Gibarch is giants, barbarians, and archers, and Bam is barbarians, archers, and minions. Now, obviously, they're all fairly affordable armies, that's why they're used by farmers. But we're going to sort of talk about some of the differences and the cost breakdown of each and which might be best for you. So, starting off, we're going to look at Barch. And I have all three of these armies right here, in Army 1, 2, and 3. Army 2 is Barch, obviously. And we went over this last video. It's only 95,000 elixir, no dark elixir, and the training time is 22 minutes and 20 seconds. Which is really good. That is pretty much the fastest army there is today. Bam actually used to be faster back when dark barracks and regular barracks trained independently from each other. But since that update, everything sort of works together and minions actually take longer. Bam takes 25 minutes exactly, if you want to know the exact number, while Gibarch takes 23 minutes and 30 seconds. So they're all within about 3 minutes of each other, but Barch is still the fastest. So if speed is your only concern, Barch is the one for you. Now we're going to go into Gibarch, which is army composition number 1. And as you can see, it's a little bit more expensive. We have a heal spell in here, because I feel like that's really necessary to have a good Gibarch attack. The way I usually use this army, I mean, you can use it to pick off buildings on the side, but for the most part, a Gibarch army is going to be your coring army, and it's going to rely heavily on a queen, at least for most people. There are some good attackers that don't need to have heroes, but in order to get the best results with a Gibarch army, the queen is really good. So, it's a little bit more expensive than Barch, but it's still an affordable army for sure. And yeah, army number 3, Bam, is actually the cheapest when it comes to elixir, but it does cost some dark elixir. Only 275 in my case. My minions are not maxed, they're level 6, but it wouldn't be much more for max minions. I think it's just a couple more dark elixir, like per minion. I mean, let me see if I can check. I don't have the stat on hand, but yeah, it's just like one more elixir here. We'll see. Yeah, it's like 12 dark elixir for a max one. So, and when you have 25 minions, that's an extra 50 dark elixir. So it's something. Not 50. It's an extra 25. It's something, but it's not very significant. It's 300 dark elixir. So that is not going to be for people that tend to farm in leagues like silver or something like that, really low down where there's hardly any dark elixir. And I'm actually going to be splitting this video into 2. In this one, we're going to test out Barch again, as I did in the last video, and I'm really going to try to go a little bit more into the strategy behind it. Alright guys, here we are on the battlefield, and we found a pretty decent base, and as you can see, most of the loot, except some of the elixir, is on the outside. Even the storages, a lot of them are on the outside. So, there's multiple ways to do Barch. There's a sort of a surgical strike option, which is just to drop a few troops at a time and target individual buildings. Or there's more of the sweeping approach, as I tend to use, which the goal behind this is to overwhelm the base. Especially low-level defenses like these will not be able to handle a massive swarm. At least in theory they won't be able to. We'll see how it works right now. But Barch is a very fast pace attack. It's only going to take about a minute and a half at most for this to happen, so don't rush your attack. But I'm just going to start by picking off a few buildings before I start the main attack, just to get some buildings out of the way so the troops don't get distracted quite as much. So, take out the clan castle. That's a pretty heavy HP building. And I do have my king with me, but I don't have a queen, so getting some of those elixir collectors' storages will be more difficult than it would be otherwise. But we are going to start the attack, and I'm going to do the spreading kind of option right now. And this is how I do it. There's multiple ways to do it. Some people tap with multiple fingers. I just touch the screen and drag my fingers. And I sort of stop once I get to maybe about a quarter of the base, and I follow up with archers. And then I immediately continue the line down. And right now we're just sort of spreading out the splash damage, so nothing can focus on a group. No mortars or wizard towers or anything of that nature. And then I'll save a few in reserve, just in case there's some areas that are looking weak. But as you can see, we're getting to some of the storages. It looks like over here, we died pretty quickly. But we're doing okay on top, and on the side we're doing well too. I think I'm going to enter from the bottom since I have some troops there. And this is where the attack is going to end. So I wasn't able to get into that sword on the right, but I can get this one down here, especially with my king. If I didn't have my king, I wouldn't be able to get to it, but I'm just going to take out that golden elixir storage, and then we'll leave. I'll let my king get to about half health, and then I'll rage him up for a second. Alright, let's go, and we're just going to take this, and we're going to get out of here. So that was the spreading tactic. The entire point is to overwhelm the defenses. It's not particularly tactical, it's kind of just a dump and run, but it works, and it's one of the best ways to overwhelm a low level base. For higher level bases though, you do want to go for more of a surgical strike approach, as I call it. And we're going to find one of those bases real quick. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we're here. This is a dead base, but as you can see, a lot of the storages are deeper inside the base. If we just completely rush this base, we would get completely destroyed by the splash damage. That said, I am probably going to use a rage spell at some point in this battle to break in a little bit deeper. There's a lot of gold in this gold storage right here. This one has a little bit less, so it'll probably come in from the bottom here, because these three are completely full. Whereas up top, if you look, those golden nuggets are just a little bit smaller than these. So that means there's a little bit more gold here. So the main attack will happen on the bottom. We'll probably miss out on that gold storage, but you know, you can't win them all. You can't take everything. So this is more of a surgical battle I'm doing right now. Just trying to distract the troops, and I'll drop a bunch of archers on each storage. It's harder to win these battles percentage-wise, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it, because, well, farming is always worth it in my book. So any gold is good gold. And you just, on bases like this, you need to be a lot more wary of splash defense than you do on with level 6 mortars or something like that. Sorry for getting some lag spikes here. So now we still have a majority of our troops, but we've taken out most all of the resources we want up top. So now I will begin the main sort of rush on the base. We don't have any wall breakers. I didn't bring any of those to save a little bit of elixir, but it is still possible. Probably going to enter right here. I don't want to be too close to that wizard tower. Unfortunately, we do not have a heal spell, but if we haven't dropped enough barbarians to distract on multiple sides, we should be able to get all three of these gold storages and all three of these elixir storages, and maybe some dark elixir over there if they decide to go that way. But I'm going to start by distracting the mortar. And that's the thing with the surgical option. You really want to constantly be distracting from one angle. Right now it's targeting barbarians. That's okay. That's exactly what we want, honestly. Now we're going to drop a few more barbarians. And then I'm going to do a thin row of archers over here, just to try to take out that archer tower. Okay, now that we have a hole, we are going to rage our barbarians in and try to get a lot more action going in this base. So now it's just kind of a dump and run again, but it's a strategic dump and run because we did a lot more to get here than we did on the other one. The other one is just drop all the troops at the same time. Here we had to do some planning and take out certain buildings first. Like I said, we sadly didn't get this gold collector, but we got, what, 6 out of the 7? That's pretty good. So that was more of a surgical approach. It's not for everybody. It has a tougher learning curve than the first one, but I would definitely advise getting used to it because there's tons of bases like these that have lots of loot. But that's about going to wrap it up for this episode. In the next one, we're going to go over Gibarch and possibly combine it with the BAM episode, but we're definitely doing Gibarch next episode, and that will be interesting because that army is much more of a coring attack. So we might need to bring some wall breakers and really be strategic in what we do. It has a tougher learning curve than even definitely any of the strategies I just showed you now. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Have a nice life. You know, that's a good ending. That's going to be my new catchphrase. Have a good life. Alright, see you guys.